Episode 6 of Wednesday is a body swap episode, which starts off with Jenna Ortega dancing to Blackpink's hit K-pop song, Boombayah. It's easy to see the appeal of the show after you watch this episode. Both actresses who play Wednesday and Enid are absolutely fantastic, and this body swap episode proves it to A.T. The episode does feel a little on the longer side, but it has a payoff at the end, especially when it comes to the Agnes storyline. Episode 6 reveals a big secret that's been a missing piece this whole season, and that is the connection between the Hydes and Isaac. On the other hand, this episode is just plain entertaining because of the body swap dynamic and really works. I'm genuinely enjoying this show. Also, is it just me, or does Agnes look like what Enid and Wednesday would have if they had a baby? She's like the perfect mix between the two of them and is likely going to make their duo a threesome? But with that, let's take a deep dive into episode 6. After the opening credits, the 6th episode of season 2 goes back 16 hours and 36 minutes. Here's Wednesday, and her parents are having a word with Dort and the sheriff about Tyler and what happened at Pilgrim World. The Addams family is more in the know than the authorities and informs the other two about the second Hyde, Francoise, and how she's Tyler's mother. Morticia stands by her decision of letting Francoise and Tyler go, and her family defends her by using what happened at Pilgrim World as blackmail. Weems calls Wednesday out to have a little chat, and Wednesday finally bends. Weems tells her that the reason her psychic abilities have hit the pause button is because of her unresolved matters with Morticia. It's all a familial thing, you know? Wednesday learns from Professor Orloff that Isaac Knight is Francoise's brother, and he was the man who created the machine that Orloff resides in now. One of the greatest minds he's ever known, until he died 30 years ago. Now, apparently, Augustus Stonehurst was Isaac's mentor, and they were really close until the former stole Isaac's equipment on the night the lab exploded. We know how the rest of that story goes. Wednesday goes to Pugsley to find out where Slurp is, and he tells him he's gone now, because he's trying to rebuild himself thanks to the chance Pugsley's given him. They realize he's going to look for his sister, Francoise. Wednesday then goes to her grandmother for advice, and she tells her about a professor named Rosalind Rotwood. Yes, Miss Gaga finally showed up to gag us. The house that the Addams are living in now used to be Rotwood's abode, so Grandma tells Wednesday that she might get temporary sight if she reaches out beyond the grave to Rosalind. Wednesday does as her grandmother suggests, and Rosalind's ghost, just like Enid tells Wednesday, says that she's too arrogant, but if she wants to be psychic again, she needs to place her hand on a candle flame, but if she's interrupted, then there will be consequences. Guess being a psychic's not that different from being a Bene Gesserit. Meanwhile, Mommy wakes up Tyler, but she changes into a different person the second he raises his voice with her. The other thing is that the woman is coughing blood, likely because she doesn't have a master. On the other hand, Enid notices that Bruno's mother has been calling a lot lately, and since he speaks Tagalog, she has no idea what he's saying, but she's very trusting of him, even if the number's saved as a blue heart. Curious. Anyway, their rendezvous is interrupted by Miss Capri, and she sends Bruno running immediately. She addresses the elephant in the room, i.e. Enid turning on a regular old night, even without a full moon. She's convinced Enid is an alpha, which sounds very exciting, but it's threatening to Enid, who believes it means she'll end up alone. At the same time, Dort's curfew has Enid in a bind, and she tries to stop Wednesday from leaving the dorms, but she doesn't listen, of course. Thing tells her that Capri's doing the rounds, so Enid rushes off to find Wednesday. Herein lies the problem, because she interrupts the candle situation, and the punishment is that they end up swapping bodies. Next thing you know, Wednesday is dancing to Blackpink while Enid is in pigtails. Enid drinks a colorful drink while in Wednesday's body and has an allergic reaction, but lucky for her, Morticia's around and gives her her ointment, and also invites her to dinner, even though there's something off about her. On the other hand, Isaac and Francoise reunite, and Tyler's confused. At the same time, Wednesday learns in a hidden lair in the house that Morticia writes steamy romances that she's been hiding from her. She also learns that her mother wants to keep it that way when she catches her in the room in Enid's body. Ultimately, Enid learns that Wednesday had a premonition of her death, and Wednesday learns that Enid might be an alpha because Capri tells her she needs to be locked up in the Lupin cages. Oh, also, Wednesday saves Enid from heartbreak because she speaks Tagalog and hears Bruno talking to his mom, who actually happens to be his girlfriend back home. At the same time, Agnes tells the person she thinks is Wednesday that she should stop being friends with Enid, so Enid, in Wednesday's body, essentially tells her that they're not friends anymore and that she should go find something else to do with her life. So she goes off to the body parts society, led by Orloff, where things already a new member. Now, at the dinner, Morticia urges Wednesday and Pugsley to tell them what they've been lying about, and Pugsley tells Gomez about him finding Slurp at Pilgrim World. They head off for his punishment, and this is when Weems shows up to Morticia, and the latter finds out that the girl in the room is Enid, not Wednesday. The conclusion is that the girls are the only ones who can save themselves, and they have to do it before daybreak. But in this time, Isaac has come to Nevermore to meet his old friend Orloff and essentially steal his lifeline. This was not fun to watch, but Orloff's brain is also eaten by Isaac, and Agnes ends up seeing it. Isaac takes the thing that was giving Orloff life to put into the Willow Hill machine, and Agnes follows him and ends up in the car trunk, where a very dead Judy lies next to her. Agnes sends Enid her location after telling Wednesday and her that she found Tyler and his fam. So the grand plan is to get rid of Francoise's hide, and Tyler doesn't like the thought that Isaac thinks being a hide is a curse. He even calls it the monster inside her. But Tyler can't do anything else except watch as his mother and uncle get excited about their big procedure. Tyler finds invisible Agnes with ease though, and then Wednesday and Enid show up to help her. Wednesday gets furious at Tyler and transforms into a werewolf because she's in Enid's body. It looks like the procedure doesn't work, because Agnes messes with the switches and it all explodes again. But it's now time for Wednesday to run because the girls need to switch back. At the end of episode 6 of Wednesday season 2, Wednesday and Enid end up at Rotwood's grave. To undo the curse, the roomies are required to unravel the innermost secrets of the other person. Enid says that she adores Wednesday's fearlessness, except for when it comes to her mom. She says that Wednesday believes that her darkness is something that even her mom can't grasp, so she'll become a disappointment. She worries she'll turn out just like her aunt. For Wednesday, she apologizes for underestimating her power. She also talks about her kindness being her strength. This works out perfectly, and they switch back. Now the premonition of Enid's death is gone, but Weems tells Wednesday that an Addams must die. Who will it be? It seems whatever Wednesday does, someone or other gets hurt. In this case, will it be her mother? The one person Wednesday doesn't want to disappoint,